Okay, good to see you. Hey, how are you?
How was your day?
Sorry?
How was your day?
Good, good. Today is,
Same,
Let's have a
same.
seat. Let's get started. How is everyone doing?
Amazing.
Good? Who's happy?
Hi.
Yeah? Okay, who's not happy? Come on, this is impossible.
Yeah.
Statistically impossible. Nobody?
They just pretend to be happy.
Okay. Okay, who got damaged in the rain? Any losses? Yeah? Time. Okay. Did you lose a car? Anyone? Nobody? Whoa. Okay, so nobody lost a car. Home damaged? Anyone? No? Ah, one hand. Sorry about that. Hope you're safe and dry now. Pets? Anybody lost any pets?
It's sad but fine.
No? I lost my goldfish. Somebody lost an investor also. That's tough. They got washed away. The investor disappeared although there was no liquidity issue.
The gold is too heavy, you know.
Yeah, something is happening with gold, guys. Huh?
Yeah.
Gold prices, huh?
How much do you have?
I actually bought like when it really went down after COVID. Happy. So,
Good time.
better than Bitcoin and Fash. So, we have a few things we're going to do tonight. So we have an amazing speaker, Gil here, and prepare for your minds to be blown. I'm not making it difficult by exceeding your, by raising your expectations. It's going to exceed them, trust me. No pressure. He's been he's really a great guy. Just had a chat with him. Nice to meet you, man. And also want to congratulate some people here who closed some investments this week. So, who remembers when he pitched here? Dan. You remember Dan? You?
I'm
Okay, who felt bad for him? Really?
back, right?
Yeah, when he pitched. Look what he's doing today, guys. Really? Like, he took all the feedback. He was like, yeah, okay, so what? Somebody would actually feel like hurt, you know? It was really harsh, the feedback. But even somebody told him why you can't like be excited about it. He's like, yeah, he has his way, he's doing it. Well done, man, congratulations. Thank you. Part of the team too. So, anybody else have good news? Praise? While we're getting this set up before we start. Anybody took part in Token 2049?
Me.
Okay, nice. Anybody else? Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah?
Yes, we finished the UI UX design for the 2469 app, so we start developing next week.
Nice. What? First timer? Welcome, man. Nice. Okay, we're starting with the pitch, right? So you can set up if you'd like. Yeah? Huh? Ah, nice. Mental pitch. Let's start roasting him right now. So, come on up. Come on. Who's here for the first time tonight? Hands up. Nice. Okay. You have 3 minutes?
3 minutes.
And then we'll roast you.
I'm writing it right now. Let's go. Alright, when does time start?
I will
Now?
tell you.
Okay, ready?
2 minutes.
1, 2, 3, go.
Welcome everyone. Today I present to you the second layer of reality, Life Squared, that functions on Web 4, where time is the most valuable asset. So pretty much I'll tell you the story of what Life Squared started as. I was doing an acid trip in LA, as we all do, right? And as a result, this idea of Life Squared just popped up into my head, right? It was just like, oh, life would make so much more sense if you did everything to the fullest. If you're gonna dance, dance until your feet hurt. If you're gonna laugh, laugh until your stomach hurts. If you're gonna cry, cry like a little baby and your eyes are falling out. Because if you die not doing any of that, you end up not experiencing life for what it could have been. So therefore, we must all travel to Life Squared. This is not a religion, it's not a structure of thoughts, it's a layer of reality where you do everything to the fullest. Because what's the point of living if you don't do that anyways? You would die not knowing what you were ever capable of. So within Life Squared, there's everything redefined squared. What is money squared? What is wealth squared? What is health squared? All of these things, what is happiness squared? Because on a mathematical level, I'm not saying it's life 2.0, it's life squared, it's a parabola. And everything in a parabola is positive. No matter where you end up on the x-axis, the y-axis is absolutely positive. And in life, that's a very simple lesson because you will never truly get hurt if you learn the lesson. Never. Like everything is a beautiful lesson for you. All the pain is a gift. If any of you have gone through depression, you actually find out that pain is the greatest gift because it allows you to empathize with other people. And it allows you to truly be there. It goes from, are you okay, to, I know what to do from this point on. I'm gonna help you save time, right? A lot of people here are creating technologies that essentially save people time. That's how you create value. In Web 4, time is the most valuable asset. I spoke to someone here who essentially gets a 50x ROI and essentially makes a task from 3 months to 20 minutes. This is 3 days. Wait, 3 days to 20 minutes. Now tell me that's not dealing time. If we can do that, all of us can time travel. Because time is not seconds, minutes, or hours, but a continuous eternity. The human-made concept of second, hours, and minutes. You think if you go up to a fox and you say, oh, what's time, bro? They're not going to have an answer for you. Because nature works on the clock of the sun, which is God, right? If I can reach the speed of light, right? And if you just change that with the word God, how do you reach God? What is God? Creation. And if you create a life so divine between you and your creation, you essentially become God, right? As a result, if we all create lives that we all truly mean, which can function in a society called Web 4, where time is the most valuable asset, we essentially become barter squared. Like the value of money is less important. Why was Web 3 built? Why was Web 3 built? It was to empower communities to have self-sufficient economies in order to be able to like be nerds and like find the people you're passionate with and to live amongst them. It's not a physical place. And what I'm pitching today is not an actual technology. It exists here because you can think your way to it. Once you tick a couple amount of checkbox, there isn't. Thank you.
Hold on. Continue the sentence. What you're pitching is?
It's the first mind technology. This is above Neuralink because I guarantee you that my brain functions 10 million times faster than AI could ever be. What is universal basic income? It's time. Because everyone has time. How do you make use of that time? Very simple. You look at the science of happiness, right? You look at what makes people happy. It's to serve other people, but how do you serve other people? You have to identify your God-given strengths and do it while you're young, before nurture comes into play in your life. Everyone has special strengths. If you serve your community with those strengths, you essentially increase the happiness index. If that was the education system, you'd increase the happiness index of the society instantly, right? Because they're having fulfilling work by default. So I don't know what I'm asking for. I know everyone can be on this journey. It's not a religion, it's a second layer of reality. And I'm here pitching to a bunch of geniuses, and I don't know what's going to happen. I got told to come here, and I came. So here I am.
Second layer of reality and one consciousness.
Let's go. That's how it should be. Mother Nature.
It's one consciousness.
Yeah.
The same thing.
Whatever you want to call it. Let's go there. I don't care.
There's no new medium, right?
What do you mean?
Yeah, it's not really Web 4, it's not really nothing.
It's just here.
Yeah, it's an attitude.
Well, exactly. What I'm saying to you isn't necessarily, it's just a perspective.
It's literally just a perspective. It doesn't matter if the words life squared or word for, if I'm Satoshi Nakamoto. It doesn't matter. It's your reality. You choose it. You're in control because your mind is so much more powerful than you could ever imagine. I've literally gotten rid of negative words in my life. What is impossible? It's just a word. What is doubt? Nothing but anything to get in my way. I don't care what anyone says. I'm going to become a trillionaire. I'm going to own everything just to give it back. Because everyone knows that I've become the first true altruist. I will die for this. I will actually die for this. And this is why it's going to work. Let's go to lunch today.
You think you're gonna say something funny, right? Actually, I love his energy. So
Let's go.
No. There's nothing to buy because there's nothing to sell. No, really. That's true. It's true. Yeah,
It's true. It's true.
yeah. There's nothing to buy.
It's the message.
Yeah.
So it's the message. It's the message that matters. I don't want anyone's money. I want a society where people can live the way that they truly want to. I don't get anything out of it because the happiness that I will get from serving other people with my strengths is enough for me. Seriously. I'm not looking for money. I'm looking for you.
You picked that guy out with the burgundy t-shirt, by the way.
Did I?
Yeah.
I picked him up.
He was like in the middle of the picture. Allahu Akbar. You heard him? Who heard him?
Is this crowd work for a comedy show?
No, like you really like touched on the religion topic.
I'm glad.
A bit too close to home for him, so
It's so close.
What? He did, no?
Yeah.
See?
That's crazy.
It's sweating. It's like, when God smite me now, I'm sitting there like, what are you doing?
I'm not with him. I'm not with him.
You're cheating, bro. What are you doing, bro?
He's uninstalling the proposition.
But I'm really excited today because it's the first time I've pitched to people I know who will be absolutely receptive to it. I've worked so hard to come to a point where I can communicate this without sounding like I have a God complex, which is all of us essentially. Like we all can be that, but it's like I'm really glad I can sit here or stand here today, and I've just been here for like 20 minutes for the first time ever, and talk to you guys and connect with you guys to share my vision, to share the future collective vision. It excites me every day. I live for it, I die for it. Like, Life Squared is the destination. And essentially, you don't have to pay for it. It's free. It's right, like, literally in your mind. I wish all of you knew just how powerful your minds were. And breaking the limits of what you guys believe. You can literally jump time with your minds. I've reached subconscious communication before, where I wasn't talking because I was essentially communicating through the vehicle of love, quantum. When quantum mechanics, like when you ask why can two atoms like communicate with each other, it's through the vehicle of love. It's a full dimension because it transcends all logic, right? I got told from a mother, like I was just having a burrito and she told me, did you know from the age of 0 to 25, your parents, a parent and a child is essentially connected through emotion. If the mom feels sad, the child will feel sad. And as a result, it taught me that that's how quantum physics works, through the vehicle of love. Because I had 2 times where I went home, and I said to my mom, let's talk about this. And she was just like, what the hell is going on? Did you read my mind? I literally thought of that last night. And I was just like, I don't know, I just felt like it. And so of course, if you love someone truly, where you are able to prioritize them over yourself, where you are able to give your time, give everything you have 150%, you can communicate them with quantumly. You will be quantumly attached through the vehicle of love. And essentially, you will share thought. It's like one conscious mind, but if you love the world, and I love the fucking world, so what now? I can communicate with everyone.
Okay, so do you know about the law of reverse effort?
What's that?
No, attraction.
You know about it, right?
Oh, law of attraction, yeah, I made it.
No, the law
What
of
is it?
reverse effort.
What is it?
At least you want something, but you move in the space and the direction, it actually comes easier to you.
Wait, so give me an example.
Manifestation.
No, it's not.
No.
Law of reverse, the less you want it, the easier it comes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This guy will become rich, guys. Yeah.
Just also another thing. How many people in here know chaos theory? How many people know chaos theory? So essentially, I'll summarize what chaos theory is. So the moment you accept that absolutely everything can go wrong, and I mean imagine you were like Dr. Strange, and you looked at every single possible like outcome, and you knew that everything could go wrong. Murphy's Law, I think, same thing. The moment you accept it, like you're okay with anything, is the moment that everything starts going right. That's chaos. Humans were made out of chaos. Maybe a monkey actually ate the psychedelic, and then part of the brain will activate it, maybe. But that's out of chaos, right? There is no evolution out of chaos, and so what we need to do essentially, and the world's going to start becoming very chaotic, is for you to befriend chaos, for you to learn to love chaos. Because chaos breeds passion, chaos breeds interest, chaos breeds love, it breeds emotion, and that's what life is. I thought the Dubai flood thing was just like a test for everyone, to be like, how calm can you be throughout this? Because the next generation of humans are the ones who can befriend chaos. The ones who are okay with chaotic lives. I don't care what the West says about having a 5 a.m. wake up. At the end of the day, you need to remember that these people pushing this lifestyle get paid for it. And they're sharing what worked for them, and they also get paid for it. So all these YouTube influencers telling you how to live a life, it makes no sense to me. Because the only advice you should ever be giving is let's figure out what works for you. That's it. That's it. Because everyone's different. We all live such different lives. We need specialized care for everything. So, yeah, I don't know. Let's go. Mike.
I'm not gonna roast because I have nothing to say. Anybody wants to roast me? Because that's the rule of the game.
Oh, is it a roasting? Come on, give it to me.
What help do you need?
I need the right people who have the correct minds that can help me build cities, economies, and I mean I need the greatest artists of all time, because the first mission is Dubai, right? It's in a world economic stance, right? The US dollar is collapsing and has been ever since 2020, right? China has its own bubble, Africa has not enough infrastructure, Southeast Asia is a bit too messy, India has way too many cultures, but Dubai is a blank canvas. And we're right in the Middle East where we have billions of dollars, trillions of dollars, to essentially, they're encouraging people to come and essentially build this. So it's money I already have. I've got the $1 trillion mindset, which means I have access to everything. But what I need now is the right people, the right relationships, the right people who care about the movement of time. It's not about the people who are putting money as their gods, because that's no longer it. We have to, I need to build a super team. I need to build a super team of innovators, of artists, of businessmen who want to help change the world and build the next layer of reality. Whatever works for you. I don't care what it's called. I just care that my kids grow up knowing that they can be whatever the hell they want, and they can change the world how they want. And everyone is empowered. That's what I care about. So money is going to be easy. I just need the right people with the right amount of love for the world.
Wait. That thing you said about telepathy, I feel it with people here. It's not a cult.
What? You're reading my mind.
I actually heard you. I heard you actually, yeah. I have very good hearing. They say it's a cult. What do you say?
Whatever, just join it. Let's go. Whatever, let's go. Is it a cult? What is cult definition? Exactly.
Bhagawan.
What's that?
Who knows Bhagawan? You know Bhagawan? Okay. One guy here. You know him, right? You saw the documentary on Netflix, Wild West? Yeah, that's Bhagawan.
Well, I wouldn't call it a cult. It's just it's called a community? I don't know what you want to call it. I would never do anything to hurt other people. So if you want to call it a cult, if you don't want to call it a cult, literally the label doesn't matter to me. It's just a way of life. It's a way of reality.
Okay, who thinks this is a beautiful thought that you can get behind? Raise your hand up.
Let's go, guys.
Okay, okay. So who think this is some cuckoo shit?
Let's go. More hands, please. I'm fucking amazing.
No, crazy, and it should be taken to the back and shot. Not the idea.
Calm down, guys.
No? Nobody?
I said yes.
You said
It
yes.
sounds like heaven on earth. He's trying to do.
Well, I'm already here. I reached it. I'm right here. I'm living it. It's because it's a layer of reality.
Listen,
You're already in heaven there.
I'm just... You have something to roast? You look motivated.
I don't want to get into it. I'm just a pitch.
You have that religious angle. You want to come...
No, I'm happy.
Okay.
Happy?
Because it's good that...
Inshallah.
Come here. Take a mic.
I just wanted to say that.
Hold on, in the mic.
Motivational speak, not a bitch.
I wouldn't call it a motivation. It's just true.
I just wanted to say one thing that you're sort of talking like a Matrix Reloaded kind of a movie where you're just downloading all of these sort of things. So the thing is that what you're talking about, it's already been envisioned 30 years ago by people.
Okay.
And then the layers of reality that you're talking about has already been come and gone. So now the thing is that what you're trying to create is basically reinventing the wheel. I mean, we need to come up, the chaos theory that you're talking about, it's been there. So,
This is life squared. It's the second dimension of everything.
no, but I mean, it's been there again.
Yeah, it's fine.
So
I know it's not a new idea.
Yeah, so this is the thing that I wanted to ask for people around here, that what you're talking about, it's already being acted upon, like Burning Man theory, Burning Man festivals and all these sort of festivals, which is happening around not just in West but also now in the East as well. They basically rely on the same very theory that you're talking about. So it's tested, it's tried, and it actually doesn't really work at the end of the day.
Is that the first doubter that I hear? What's that? It works, buddy. It works. I'm not saying, but like, I 100% I get it, because I know it's not a reinvention, right? Like, everything has been written before. I just happen to be able to communicate it. It's I can sit here and talk to you as someone completely you've never seen before, and everything starts to make sense. It's not like a physical location, right? Because the location's here. Like, absolutely, I agree with what you said. This isn't a new idea. Literally, LifeSquared.com already exists in the UK like 11 years ago. So I know we're in a collective consciousness, and right now I'm reading the signs, and essentially I'm communicating it because I'm using my strength. The difference between how I'm going to do it is that you don't have to be anywhere. You're already there. You have to open that mental door yourself. It's not Burning Man. It's not a physical location. It's mind technology. So as a sense, like, call it spirituality, call it whatever you want. Like, you can live in it right now.
What my mom is saying here is that just because others failed, doesn't mean that this try will fail. And if it will fail, it should be. Right?
Nothing's gonna stop me, man. Life's gonna come. Let's go. Choo choo.
So,
Hands up.
brother,
I'll go ahead.
last week it was supposed to be one of the biggest festivals in the Middle East in Abu Dhabi, called Kayan Festival. Unfortunately, they had to cancel because of the floods, but the sort of people you're looking for, that was the people that were going to show up there, thousands of people. I had lunch with the founder of Kayan Festival here last week. She lives in Dubai. If you want to meet up with her, the people you're looking for exist in the world. I live in Bali, so I'm surrounded.
That's why I need to go to Bali.
I'm surrounded by the sort of people you're looking for. I believe in everything you said. You just need to find other people who believe in what you're doing. But it's better to find people who are already doing it and try to help them.
100%. I'm on board. Like, I know I can't just do this alone, and it's not about me. I don't care what I get out of this. I already got everything I needed. Now it's about community. Now it's about finding the right people.
Take just the last few words. Just tell people who you are, a little bit about you.
I'm Matthew. What would I say? I'm 24 in 2024, in April of 2024. Right? And my background is 42. I don't know if any of you know numerology, but 42 is the answer to the universe. And funnily enough, my birthday is 21st of June, my mom's birthday is 14th of September. 14 times 3 is 42, 21 times 2 is 42. And I discovered this on the 4th of February of 2024. And essentially, I don't know, I like singing, dancing, acting. I love my mom a lot, like endlessly. And I've had many ups and downs in my life, but I fought very hard to be myself. And the thing that motivates me most to be myself is knowing that I give the space for other people to be themselves. Because it's impossible to lie to me. You have only one option to be yourself in front of me. Otherwise, I'll see right through it. It's impossible. Literally, I've broken down human psychology, how the limitation of essentially life in the first dimension, and like, you literally cannot lie to me. I will force you to be yourself, because that's what you deserve. And if it takes someone like me to be doing that, then I will. So yeah, that's what I like.
This guy sounds like he tried ayahuasca. You know, this is a proof that you don't need to try ayahuasca to have that mindset.
Just like 2 vibes ago.
So we're gonna go with a small, exciting video here, and then we're gonna have our special guest speaker, and then we'll get back to the pitch. Just to mix things up, keep it interactive.
I love seeing people connect and people flourish. Are you ready to do that?
Meet Gil Petersil, a world-class speaker and global thought leader on business strategy, conscious networking, and mastermind methodologies. Gil's passion is connecting people, moderating relations, and facilitating crowds by sharing his unique approach to new codes of networking that generate win-win value contributions. As a serial entrepreneur with over 20 successful failures in global business projects, he shines when mentoring others. He's organized and spoken at 1,000 plus international events, all while loving his role as a devoted father of 3 and an active philanthropist within his valley communities, advocating for a conscious approach to life and business. He's a visionary, a leader, a servant, and a super connector. He's partnered and shared the stage with legends like Tony Robbins, Brian Tracy, Jay Abraham, Edgar Cole, and Keith Ferrazzi, demonstrating the mentors he has attracted and successfully served. Gil's approach isn't just about networking, it's about elevating others. His dedication to creating opportunities for connection inspires countless individuals to become catalysts for bringing people together.
Look with for clients and investors, look with you friends. Thank you.
Hi everyone. If I speak to you like this, will you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me in the back? Good, thank you. I try not to hold a microphone when I speak in front of an audience. No, it's okay, they can hear me. My voice travels. It's Friday evening and I'm not looking to give you a speech. I'm definitely not giving you a masterclass. I'm happy to make it as interactive as possible. Thank you for what you shared. What was your name? Matthew. Matthew really inspired me, the fact that I'm double your age. It's good to hear young people talking this way. And it's not for everyone. There's, taking networking to a level of spiritual practices has taken me a lot of years to try to understand what networking truly is. Most people believe it's what you did out there. And I was watching you. When I came in, I was really curious to see how you network out there. And I could tell you quite a lot about you. Those of you who came early, I could speak about those of you who were there for an hour right now, very easily. What you did right, what you did wrong. I could talk to you about your body language. I could talk to you about moving around the room or standing next to the same person. I've learned all the mistakes that I've done in my life, and there's so many others that I haven't yet learned that I've made. But as an entrepreneur, I have failed more than 20 times. I call them successful failures because even the failures may be millions of dollars, but if they're not here today, that it means there was some sort of a level of experience in life. It was a part of my hero's journey. A big part of what I do today is I try to focus on teachers in my life. So some of the names that you've seen here, someone like Tony Robbins has been an amazing mentor in my life for many, many years. And when I understood that he's a mentor for me, I wanted to find ways of how can I network with him? How can I build a relationship with him? My goal was to try to connect with him and take a selfie. That was the goal. And I understood that that would take me a very long time. So instead of trying to get a selfie, I became his promoter. And within 3 years, I became the biggest promoter in the world for Tony Robbins, and I kept that position for the last 7 years. And it's been really amazing for me to be able to build many businesses around identifying incredible human beings and serving them, finding a way to make a difference in their life. So it's anywhere from a Tony Robbins to a Richard Branson and dozens of other entrepreneurs that maybe you haven't heard about, but they're people that are impacting the world. I lived in many, many countries. I speak quite a few different languages. I love connecting with people very much. I have philosophies, methodologies around spiritual aspects of networking. I don't necessarily agree that you're smarter than AI, unfortunately, because AI could be many, many, many people at the same time. I believe in working with AI, so I use AI every single day. All of my teams, all of my employees have to use AI every day to make their life easier. Even my young kids, I sit with my kids for an average of 30 minutes a day, and I want to hear what questions they ask AI. For me, it's incredible that a 5-year-old boy would say to AI, why do dogs run after me when I run? Or why do we need so many houses around? And those questions are actually quite deep if you want to go into it, to understand that we don't need everything we have. We have too much. Yeah, as humans, we waste. We're consumers. We waste quite a bit. And the biggest asset that we waste is time. The second biggest asset that we waste is people. So I don't like wasting people. I like using people as best as I can because I want people to learn how to use me. If people know how to use me, I become more valuable. If more people want to use me, I can become more expensive, I can raise my price. So I teach people how to use me. When people ask me what I do, I don't have a set way of answering it. But I can answer it in different ways depending on the situation, depending on, do I want to promote myself right now? Do I just want to tell them that I love listening to people? And I've become a very good listener. Women taught me that. If you listen to women on a date, it will be a good date. If you talk too much about yourself on a date, it will be a bad date. It doesn't matter how much money you have. Trust me, she's not gonna like you at the end of the day. Ladies, is that correct? Make some noise, ladies. Some of these ladies are not yet sure who they want. They're like, okay, I don't know. I agree with that one. I want him to have money first, and then I will listen to him, okay. Yes, I know we are in Dubai, it's an expensive place. So I built methodologies around these things because I wanted to raise money for companies, my own companies initially, and then I wanted to raise money for other companies. And I've raised money for over 100 different companies in my life, accelerators, funds. These days, I really try to focus on impact. You know, if you're someone that's raising money, but you're like another mobile app, another game. I was in this investor expo at the Royal Atlantis a few days ago, and these people came to me, and one girl came to me, she was so inspired about what she's doing, and the company she's working for makes chairs. And I've learned very, very quickly to say, no, thank you, I'm not interested. Anything else? No, great, good luck, go to the next person. Because I'm not ready for someone to waste any of my time if they're not doing something that's useful for the world. You know, I'm not looking for Me Too's because I don't want to waste people's time. I very much value your time here this evening. It's a Friday evening. I'm very impressed that you're here on a Friday evening. I had multiple dates being offered to me today, so I might still go on a date after this. I had 2 yacht parties, but yesterday's yacht party was enough. I went to a yacht party and it was the first time I was in a yacht and I served tea. Does anyone here into tea ceremonies? Anyone been to a tea ceremony before? Raise your hand. Wow, only 4 people, 5 people. Wow, amazing. So I don't drink alcohol already for 10 years. And I've, in the last few years living in Bali, I've really gotten into ceremonies. I gotten into a way to connect with people over something that is not alcohol, something that is not just food. Breaking bread with people is amazing. I've been a chef for the last 20 years. I've cooked for tens of thousands of people in my life at 1,000+ different events that I've hosted. But I've learned that having food in front of us is also a distraction. Having food in front of us doesn't always allow us to look at people and listen, depending on how someone eats, depending on how much they eat. Let me give an example. When Tony, that video you saw with me and Tony invited me to his home to say thank you for what I did for him, because in 2018, I invited Tony to Moscow, and I put 26,000 people in front of him. And it was the biggest event in his life. He's never had 26,000 people for him in an event before. And he wanted to say thank you. He invited me to his house. He said, come over, let's have lunch together. And I'm like, wow, lunch with you, that's great. In the past, I've met him at hotels, I've met him at events. It was never like sit down and eat. And his assistant calls me the days before and she's like, Gil, Tony said you're gonna have lunch with him. I was like, yeah. He's like, no, don't. When Tony eats, he focuses on the food. No, you don't want to eat with Tony. He's so focused on the food, he's not going to be listening to you because he's very, very mindful of when he's eating. And it gave me a very big insight in life that a lot of people eat differently. And I had to find something else. And in the last couple of years, I've been searching, and somebody in Bali invited me to a very incredible tea ceremony that lasted 9 hours. And it had people from the royal family. We had 3 billionaires. We had quite a few different impactful people in the room. And they asked me to come in and facilitate because I like to play with time. I'm a hacker of time. So I could slow down time in your life very easily. I can give you a lot of free time in your life. I have a lot of free time in my life, a lot. This is why I'm here right now with you. I have a lot of free time. I believe in bringing harmony into whatever we do with our time. And it was beautiful during that tea ceremony that at one stage I sat back and I saw that the power of a ceremony that's not necessarily alcohol, and I have nothing against anyone who wants to drink. If you want to open a bottle of wine over dinner and have it with people, I think it's okay if you want to do it. I don't believe in having 3 whiskeys at a party and trying to connect with people. I don't see the benefits of that, and I can prove why it's not effective when it comes to building relationships or connecting with people. And tea became really important part of my life. Last month I went to Taiwan with a group of people, met some of the biggest, tea masters in the world, and now I'm really into it. And yesterday was the first time I had a tea ceremony on a yacht, which was really cool because on the second floor, on the third floor, I don't know how you count it, people were there partying, drinking champagne, and only some people came downstairs. And we had the most incredible sunset tea ceremony, and I really enjoyed it. So if you are into tea and you want to connect with me again, easiest way to connect with me is to come and have a cup of tea with me. So today what I'd love to do is I'd love to see if I can help by giving you answers to a question that is relevant to you. Anything that has to do with strategic partnerships. I've attracted more than 1,000 different companies as sponsors into our events. We've hosted events in all corners of the world. We've hosted events on land, 10 people, 10,000 people, many times. We've hosted events in the ocean. I have a fear of the water. So in order to conquer my fears, I've hosted many regattas where I've taken 100, 200, 300 entrepreneurs and many, many boats, and we went into the ocean. I wanted to conquer my fear. And we also had many, many events in the air. So for one of my businesses that's very focused on intellectual tourism, we take amazing people around the world to what we believe are the greatest events in the world. And what we did, especially before COVID, we would take like 2 full planes, like a jumbo, 300-400 people on a plane, and we would fly them around the world to what we believe are the greatest events in the world, and we would start networking on the plane. We wouldn't wait until we get there. And it was really fun. The airlines did not allow me to do that again because people moving, like speed dating on a plane, is a big no-no. Like big no-no. So I had to come up with an algorithm how to help people move on the plane without causing any traffic, and without, the plane does not like everyone moving at the same time. That caused me some trouble. But I do play a lot with algorithms. So we've launched the Master Heart dinners through COVID, where it's a dinner with strangers, where you get to have a very meaningful, very deep connection with people, but it's not a conversation and it's not a dialogue. It's hacking time in different ways. I play with algorithms and masterminds. Anyone has been to masterminds here? One? No. Anyone knows what a mastermind is? No. Can we help this community please launch masterminds that will give you algorithms and methodologies, how to help the collective genius get activated? So how many of you here, or does anyone here believe they've achieved anything alone in their life? Raise your hands if you believe you've achieved anything alone in your life. Young lady, please tell me what you've achieved alone in your life.
Yeah, I've been a pole vaulter. I've been a pole vaulter. I do pole vault.
Okay, and you've done it completely alone?
Yes.
No one ever taught you? You had no coach?
Coach.
Okay, next.
With coach.
What have you done alone in your life? You didn't do it alone.
To realize who am I, right?
You realized it alone. You sat in a cave in the dark
Absolutely.
completely by yourself?
For 8 months.
Sorry?
It's in my basement, which is
In your basement doesn't count. That's like your parents' house basement
No.
doesn't count. Your parents paid for rent.
So for me, it's the modern cave, right? That's how I look at it.
Did you do it alone because you decided you wanted to do it, or did someone inspire, like a spiritual teacher?
I decided to do it. It was self-realization, introspection that I went through.
Fabulous.
To raise my consciousness.
Okay.
To understand where I'm coming from, my generation, traumas and everything, what I inherited.
And everything has been resolved?
All by myself. I've gone through that process.
I'll come back to you later. I get it. There's always some people in the room that I choose not to argue with. What do you do alone in your life? No, I know you can argue with it because he argued with you. No, you guys sitting next to each other, it's like, like water and oil, right? Who else? You raised your hand. Yeah, what did you achieve alone in your life?
I had unlocked my entrepreneurship spirit.
You unlocked your entrepreneurial spirit completely alone?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, no, that doesn't exist, guys. You cannot unlock anything in your life completely alone. So I can argue every single person who might be thinking for a moment that you've done something alone. People tell me I've zipped my pants this morning. The only thing you could truly say, but I could also argue, you could say, I will die one day on my own. And if you really want, we can get into the details of that, because I have spoken to some really special people that we don't actually die on our own. But I can argue very easily from a scientific point of view, because I've been studying human networking. Today I teach quantum networking mechanics and quantum networking entanglement, something that I'm not going to get into today too much. The fact that we can never achieve anything alone in our lives. Nothing.
Why?
Who said why?
Because.
Who said because? How old are you? 22, good. Find someone like him who's double your age that would give you some answers. The fact that you're sitting with your arms crossed and your legs crossed right now does not require me to give you an answer right now, because whatever answer I give to you, you're like, no, prove to me that I cannot do something alone, because we've been taught that we could do a lot on our own. Yeah, we've been taught that if we want to do something, we should push, especially for the men in this room. We believe that we need to be heroes all the time, and we could do it alone. Especially for the men in this room, we're really bad at asking for help. Yeah, but I could prove to you, and you will one day prove to yourself, that you will never achieve anything alone in your life. Yeah, you want to do what this young man does, the best thing to do is to find other people who want to do the same thing, and try to not even collaborate with them. Try to see if you can help them. What I do when I find someone amazing in my life, one thing I do is I compliment them, even in my head. Second thing I do is I show curiosity, because I believe that every single human that I meet is a gift. I believe in angels, whether you believe it or not. I believe that every person that comes into my life, I could choose to see them as an angel, because they can come to me with answers. There's 8 billion, just one second, there's 8 billion people in the world out there, and there's no way that I have the time to meet all of them. Yeah, but I do know that the average person in the world will meet about 10,000 people in a lifetime that they can actually have a conversation with. I don't count the taxi driver or the woman at the grocery stores, because we don't really talk to them. But people that you can actually have a short, meaningful conversation with, it's only about 10,000 people in a lifetime. What I've tried to do over the last few years is to get over my fears. I have fear of public speaking, even though I've done this for a long time. It's the number one fear that we all have. Yeah, but it's not actually public speaking. It's speaking publicly. Networking is a massive fear that we have. And time management is the biggest weakness we have. And if you put the two together, it's how much time do I give this person that I've met him? Do I follow up with him? Do I give him one more minute of my life? Do I have enough discipline? Do I have a system do I have an assistant who helps me to follow up with the people that I've met, to give them more of my time, more of my attention? So I've had to learn how to create systems, how to create methodologies around following up with people, just so I can help. When I meet someone, my mind is not about what do you do. My mind is why do you do what you do? My mind is not about what could you do for me? Can you become an investor? Can you become a client? My mind is more about what could I do for you right now in 1 minute that would leave you with a long-lasting impression that you would want to connect again. And maybe I'll see you at another event. Maybe you'll kind of help one of my clients. Maybe you'll help somebody in my network. Maybe you'll join us for one of the tea ceremonies. I don't know. But I love it when people ask for help, because if they're asking for help, they're at a specific level of maturity in life where they understand that they need someone to help them. And the advice I can also offer there, if you're going to ask people for help, don't use one or two words. Don't say I need more clients. Don't say I need investors. Try to describe the people that you wish to meet. I've always found that to be much, much easier when it comes to wanting to achieve more in life. It's not saying just what do I want, but do I understand who do I need to meet in my near future in order to achieve what I want? You can think about that right now yourselves. Do you have an answer to that? Do you know who you want to meet in the next 24 hours, in the next 72 hours, the next 3 days? Do you know who you want to meet and why? Do you? Who does? What's your answer?
I want to meet university professors.
You want to meet?
University professors and deans.
Okay, so you just used 2 or 3 words. You're not going to meet them. There's too many in this country. So when I wanted to meet university professors in this country, there was a reason. because I've been a visiting professor at more than 20 universities around the world. Even though I've never been to university, I got kicked out of multiple high schools. I was not good back then, really good these days, but I was very, very specific about which universities. I was very specific of which professors of which faculties. I was very specific about why do I want to meet them and what time frame. And I was also preparing myself on what conversations I would have. And as soon as I was able to outline all that, I was invited to COP28, that was here in November. And at COP28, I was specifically brought into the education, and suddenly I have all these universities around me. It was very easy. Once you tell people who you want to meet and why, I believe we're just led to the people we want to meet. Anybody else know who they want to meet? Come on. Yes.
I wanted to just say one thing.
Please.
It's pretty interesting listening to you and then the first speaker around it, because I have been actually doing the same thing what you're talking about, exploring the more words, explaining who do I want to be around with. And I'm also going to be moderating a debate session as well and talk about visionary leaders. And it's sort of a thing in a way that consciousness, how does it connect with materialism and then the value and what you're talking about. So what you're talking in the next 1 hour, so it's like interesting to see what you're talking, and I already met a person that I wanted to meet in a way. So how do you entangle that?
Are you asking me a question or are you making a comment? I was a little bit confused.
This is you tell me.
I don't know what you just, I listened to what you just said. I wasn't sure what you were.
I mean, I'm curious right now.
What is your question?
That I wasn't aware that if I wanted to meet such people, but I think I now know that I've met those people.
Okay.
That I wanted to meet, but I didn't know that I wanted to meet them.
See, basically you're telling me you believe in magic. Congratulations.
Does it?
I do believe. I believe in magic. I believe that if I speak out what it is that I want, and I'm being very mindful of who I speak it to, I believe that everything I've wanted in my life comes true. I just need to decide what do I want and not keep it to myself. Most people in some cultures, they have a goal and they keep it to themselves. 2 days ago, I was speaking at a women's club here, Svai. It's a very beautiful club of Russian, Ukrainian, Kazakh women, really, really wonderful club. And I asked some of the people in the audience what you want, who do you want to meet? Do you have any specific goals? And a lot of women said, I want to meet a husband. And that's very beautiful. How many women in this room want to meet a husband? Be honest, come on. Yeah, half the ladies in the room are like, yes, but you're not raising your hand. So it's okay, but realistically, that woman that said, I want to meet a husband will not meet her husband. It doesn't work that way. She'll meet a man, and that man might become a really good friend. He might become a lover, he might become something else. It's gonna take a very long time until he becomes a husband. And also speaking that you were describing a human being in one word is not fair to the universe, to God, whatever you believe in. Whatever you believe in your life, it's up to you, but describing people in one word is not fair. Who here plays with ChatGPT? Okay, do you prompt ChatGPT in 5 words or in 100 words? Yeah, if you're prompting ChatGPT in less than 100 words, you're an amateur, you have no idea what you're doing, you're wasting your time. You're wasting ChatGPT's world, yeah? You need to prompt ChatGPT, in my opinion, by voice. Speak to it in 1 minute. In an average minute, a person can say about 120 words. If you learn to prompt people in 1 minute, you'll get a lot in return. To me, if you learn how to introduce yourself in 20 or 30 seconds, it's much better than saying, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a consultant, I'm a CFO for a startup. Such boring introductions, oh my goodness, yeah. I'd love to make this a little bit more interactive if you wish. If you wish to ask anything that is relevant to you. So you can ask me anything you want about me, but you can find out anything you want about me from the web. I'm the only Gil Petersil on Google. I'm very, very open to answer anything you want. That is nothing about me. Where is Christina? Yeah, that is not, I'm not HDMI. That's not me.
The time is over.
Yeah, my time is over. I'm happy to sit down. Yeah, I'm happy to sit down if my time is over. I don't know if that worked. No? You want to play with that? Christina is not here? Christina is out? She left. So yeah, if you want to ask me a question specifically by introducing yourself and ask a question that's relevant to you. Go ahead. Someone want to do this for me? Or should I do this? Yeah, go for it, brother. Thank you. Yes. Sam.
So, I founded a startup by working with it. Basically, this is the first time I'm founding something from the beginning. I've been part of different journeys, but I joined different stages, and I'm learning.
Yeah. Sam, thank you for that. You haven't told us anything except your name.
Okay, sure.
Do that again next time a different way. You haven't told us anything. You've told us it's your first time in the startup and you've done other things in your life. Okay. It's better to use words that actually describe your strength, where people can say, wow, I want to connect with that person. Use words where people can actually connect with you. So if you mention any industry, if you mention any positions, if you mention any accomplishments, anything that you've done would help people actually pay more attention, because they're like, this is not Sam who's doing something and he's done other things. Everyone in this room has done something. But what do you want to ask? Tell me.
I was going to elaborate on your question.
Please.
You were asking about you aspire to meet someone. And my question, is this someone is person, or is it going to be a group of persons with certain characteristics?
Nice. Thank you for that. So yeah, that's really, really good actually. It's a very, very straight on question. So in most of my positions in life, I will ask or be in a position where I'll say, hey, coming to this event today, I was actually more interested in meeting female entrepreneurs who are currently raising money and doing something impactful. For example, that was the brief that I gave to myself. So it's not that many women in this room, more men, but it's okay. I'm happy to meet the men as well, by the way. But I'm interested these days to balance out who I'm working with, and I want more female entrepreneurs. For example, in your position, if you're going to an event, or if you're just talking to people, you could say that I'm really looking for someone who's had 10 plus years experience in marketing, maybe currently looking for an advisory position, or they're looking for a job as a CMO or as a marketing manager in a company that understands how to use AI, that understands how to use funnels, that has experience in ed tech more than I am, and they would love to meet me at this event today. As an example, just briefing the type of person you'd like to meet. It's nicer than saying, if you want an investor, don't say I'm looking for an investor. You could say I'm looking for a man or a woman. Be specific. It's nice to be specific. I'm looking for a woman that's maybe around the same age as I am, who maybe like yourself, maybe, I don't know if you have a family. I like to work with investors who have families as well. It's more interesting for me personally because I have 3 kids, so it's nice to connect with them on a personal level. I would describe this person, maybe this person is a little bit more spiritual as well, so they believe that we're here for a really deep reason and we're working on something that's quite impactful, so they'd be interested in working with me in my community and what it is that we're trying to do. I would try to describe the investor as someone who likes to travel, so maybe they'll meet me at a Tony Robbins event in America, maybe they'll come to Bali, I live in Bali, so maybe they want to come to Bali and meet me there, so someone who's kind of more flexible. I would love to meet an investor, for example, who doesn't necessarily wear a suit and a tie anymore, so I love wearing suits, I don't wear ties anymore, so someone who's a little bit more in flow, a little bit more easygoing, so you could describe the type of person, or if you know exactly who you want to meet, I would call that a networking manifestation blueprint. That would be a little too much for some people in the room, but regularly I get called by clients who say, we need to meet these 10 people. Yeah, so I was asked to introduce someone to Sharon Stone in Richard Branson, for example, for an event that they're planning to do here in Dubai. And it took me about 12 hours to get both of their assistants on an email to respond that they can come in for an event. So both is okay depending on who you're talking to. If you're speaking to a random person you just met at the event, you don't have to say to them, hey, I'm looking to meet this person by name, because they might not know them. So you could describe the kind of person you're looking to meet to make it easier for them to maybe say, actually, I know this person. And in most cases, if you try to practice this more often, in most cases, if you learn to describe the kind of people you want to meet, I believe in most cases, they are right there around you. Yeah, most people in this room maybe will speak to 3 to 5 people in this room today. But if you tell these 3 to 5 people who you wish to meet, they might actually have just met that person around, or maybe someone in this room knows exactly who you wish to meet and they're just happy to make an introduction. Yeah, just practice it. Someone else?
Yeah.
This guy.
My name is Shafiq. I was listening to your interesting conversation. I have 2 questions to ask you. One, you have mentioned about
Thank you.
following up the people you met, right? What systems and processes, and we meet a lot of people, and I'm sure a lot of my fellow founders meet a lot of people. And how do you, what system do you follow, and what process do you follow with the people you met?
Beautiful, thank you.
And the second question is, a lot of us are startups. We have to work with governments. So how do you dance with these elephants? How do you persuade them to have strategic partnerships to get meetings? And what tactics do you use to get what you want from these meetings?
Yeah. So number one, they're not elephants. They're just a human being that has the same challenges as you do. They probably have a family and they have 24 hours in a day. So you need to make sure you give them a reason why they should meet you and not someone else. So the way you template your email, the way you approach them, the type of research you do in order to meet them. Let me give you an example. In 2018, I knew I would be in the same room as Richard Branson, and I really wanted to connect with him. But I knew I would probably be in the room with another 15 to 20 people that would also focus on it. And I came in early in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, and I see about 30 people in the room. Richard is like sitting on a sofa with someone else quite famous, and there's all these 30 people kind of asking Richard questions. And I believe that if you want to meet someone and you know you're going to be in the same space as them, do your research. Find out what's important for that person that day. As an example, those of you who came in today, be honest. How many of you Googled me before you came in today? Amazing. Amazing. Consider that. You're showing up at an event. You knew that I was come and speak. If you took 1 minute, just 1 minute, that's all you need to Google a person, to actually show curiosity. Who is this person that they brought in to speak? What is this person all about? Am I interested? That's it. I don't need you to be here. I'm not being paid to be here. I don't need to sell you anything. I have nothing to sell you. But being able to do the research on who you're going to be meeting in an evening is so beautiful. Like if they told you who's going to be pitching, you could have done research on them as well to check out, am I interested in this pitch or not? So I did research that day on Richard Branson and understood what was important for him that week, that month. And everyone in the room kept on asking him the same questions you can read on the web. Richard, tell me about your most popular failure. Tell me what you've learned from your companies. Tell me your 3 favorite books. I'm like, wow, why are you asking Richard Branson questions you can go and Google right now? And as soon as I found there was a moment, like an opportunity of silence for like a split second, I said, Richard, I'd love to ask you something. I just did my research and I researched that you're trying to actually set up Virgin Airline between Moscow and London. Maybe myself or someone else in this room, and I knew exactly who was in the room around me, can help you with that. And suddenly I'm the only one who's asking how we can help you. And then I added, because as soon as that is done, I'd love to be able to commit that I will fully fill up the first plane that you take from Moscow to London, because we work very closely with one of your friends, Tony Robbins. So I was able to add a lot of information that some people might not be able to add, but being able to know that it's written in the media that during that year he's had challenges to set up Virgin Airline between Moscow and London. He probably still does. I have no idea if they ever resolved it. But that question suddenly put me on the spotlight, where I had one of the richest guys. Anybody here from Russia? You know who's Igor Rybakov? Mm-hmm. Yeah? It's one of the biggest billionaires in Russia. I had Igor Rybakov sitting right there. He looks up and he's like, Igor came to me after, he says, okay, I'm taking you out for lunch tomorrow. And we were supposed to go out for a 40-minute lunch with a billionaire. It was a 4-hour lunch, and at the end of 4 hours, I said, I'm sorry, I need to go. Like, I literally left a meeting with a billionaire where most people would have sat there until the billionaire says go, but I left it on a high, because the high I left the billionaire with is he asked me to help him do what I've just done, which is connect with another billionaire in less than a minute. I'm the only one in that room that Richard came to me after and he gave me his business card and he said, listen, clearly you're working with one of my friends, Tony, I'd love to maybe find a way for us to collaborate. And since then, we've also sent groups to his island. That's just do your research. If you want to connect with anyone in the government, do your research, what they want, who they want. Like they all need help, everyone needs help. The first question was following up. So following up is a challenge. We're all pretty bad at it. Like pretty bad at following up, because follow up is just attention management. It's how much more attention can I give this human being that I've just met? Do I have a discipline? Do I have a system in place? So over the last 6 years, we've trained what we call networking angels, which is a glorified business assistant who's been trained on 3 things: how to help you manage your time, how to help you manage your relationships, and your key relationships within the team, within the business, your anywhere from your accountants to anyone that you're currently working with, and to help you manage your external network. People that you'd like to meet with, people that you've just met. So I have a system where if you give me your connections today, or if you give me your business card today, I will, when I get home, take a picture of it. Depending on the quality of conversation you chose to hold with me, I will either leave my assistant a voice message, or I will just say to her like P1 or P2, priority 1, 2, or I have a lot of systems around it, and based on that, she would know to connect with you on LinkedIn to see if you're interested in following up with me. Until you are interested in really talking to me, I don't need to talk to you. If you really show interest in talking to me, you will hear my voice, because I believe in voice messages. So if you want to talk to really me, you're not just wasting my time, I will leave you a voice message, and it's not deep fake, it is really me. I know we could do deep fake today with AI very, very easily, and it's a little bit scary, but it's my voice. So the easiest way for you to follow up is this. Number 1, come up with a reason why you want to follow up with people, and why. You have to have a reason, who you want to follow up with and why. Number 2, you can have some kind of templates that would help you. It's okay to have a little template. Hey Gil, it was nice meeting you at the event. Just to let you know, this is what I'm focused on. I'd love to hear, what kind of needs you might have. And if you're going to any other interesting events in the future, maybe you can invite me as well. You can do any kind of follow-up that you're comfortable with. What you should not do is please don't send people an attachment as a follow-up unless they ask for it. And please don't sell them anything. I've studied a lot, not just about how people network, but I also went very, very deep into understanding how animals network. I spent the last 4 years studying animals. That wasn't as interesting for me as understanding how plants network, nature. So anyone know the bamboo plant? Have you ever seen bamboo? Yeah, it's really, really beautiful. It has 14 different income streams. If ever you need another business idea, the bamboo has 14 income streams. The underwear I'm wearing right now is made 100% out of bamboo. It's very comfortable for my balls, excuse me, ladies. Hey, and this heat, man, take care of them. I'm telling you, bamboo is very healthy for us, for the ladies as well, not just for men. Bamboo underwear is amazing. Bamboo bed sheets it's better than silk. Yeah, and it's super natural, very healthy. If anyone has babies here, put them in bamboo clothing. But bamboo, if you plant bamboo in the perfect soil, do you know how long the farmer needs to go and water that plant? Do you know how long that bamboo needs love and follow up until it pops up and it's ready to say hello? Anybody know?
6 years. 6, 5, or 6 years.
Anybody else?
6 to 12.
1 day.
1 day, wow, nice. Don't talk to this guy, he wants to sell you right away, results. Anybody else?
6 to 12, depending on the...
6 to 12 what?
Years.
Anybody else?
3
what?
years.
Okay, anybody else?
15.
15 years, wow, okay. It's too long. Anybody else? So it's interesting, you all have an opinion, yeah? But it is years. An average bamboo, depending on the kind, there's many, many different kinds, usually 3 to 5 years until it has built roots in the ground. What it's doing, it's building its network. It's finding right now, when you plant it, it's not stable yet. It's building its roots, it's connecting with everyone, it's holding hands with its network, and then it could come out of the ground. When it comes out of the ground and it sees a little bit of sun, it shoots up 3 times this ceiling, as high as this building, within about 2 or 3 weeks, because it's gained confidence. It could stand, and it's not standing on its own. It has a network of people. What I find challenging with some big cities like Dubai is people try to rush to results, and they haven't yet built any foundation. They haven't yet built relationships to develop what they want to build. There's hacks. You could take a relationship, instead of 3 to 4 years, you can make it in 3 to 4 weeks. But there's a specific algorithm that you should follow in order to expedite that, in order to make it very fast networking, you can speed networking, you can play with the speed of light, you could play quite a bit, what kind of food you have with them and what you drink with them and how much time you spend with them and how you follow up with them and how you add value to them in order to get it to a position where you can actually talk business. You can actually make a difference. So I hope that gave you a little bit of an answer.
Thank you.
But the best thing is get a really good business assistant. If you're an entrepreneur, please get a business assistant and make sure that they know how to support you as an entrepreneur. Most entrepreneurs need help with their network.
Just a
Yeah.
follow-up on that example that you showed.
Question or comment?
Follow-up question. Supposedly there are other plants, and instead of having it on the land, you have it on the flask or in some other pot. Then how does somebody can expand their network and then
Beautiful.
create confidence?
Yeah.
Because they don't have the resources, and then being able to pop up like what you talk about. How
Yeah.
does that improve?
I love that. So it's a very deep question. So I don't know any human being that's in a pot. Yeah. Usually human beings are not alone. Usually. Now, when I asked you before, I think it was yourself, it was the other gentleman that was there that disappeared, but spending time alone. In order to test out a lot of my theories, I've chosen to spend time alone. I know what it means to have a digital detox for 10 days. Last year, I went into the dark for 5 days, 4 nights. 5 days, completely in the dark, in a small room. It's a dark retreat in Bali, completely alone. You do not see your hand for 5 days. You're being given food 3 times a day through a special box. You don't see the food, yeah? So being in the dark, I also learned a lot about quantum networking. We could still build relationships. You don't need resource to build a network. I've learned that. So I come from a pretty poor family. I've moved countries 7 times in my life. This is my 17th trip to Dubai in the last 3 years. I'm extremely well networked in Dubai, and I didn't pay someone to connect with me. I believe if you choose to have a resourceful mindset, which means you know you have value to offer, you know that you have something to share. The easiest way to add value to someone is to learn how to ask them a good question and listen. The easiest way to connect with a high-level politician, with a billionaire, is to compliment them and ask them a really good question. Don't just compliment them and say, wow, you have a nice suit. Compliment them, wow, that what you wrote in your last book, I recently read an article about you, really inspired me to take a few actions in my business that I believe will make a massive impact in my community. I'd love to ask you a quick question that I think could make a further impact in our business. Most billionaires will give you the time of the day and would answer that. So in order to answer your question even more specifically, I believe in cross-pollination. Have you guys ever heard of cross-pollination? So you know what bees do? Yeah. Bees take pollen from one flower and bring it to another flower. If all bees die in the world, we will not survive very long. We will die. Yeah, if bees die, we will die as humans. Yeah, we're not going to get into the sad stories right now, but bees move pollen around, which gives us a lot of nature everywhere. As humans, one of the greatest aspects of life that you can actually do is bring people together. Yeah, a lot of people I meet keep connections. This is my connections. I met him. You want to meet my connection? You pay me money. You want me to introduce you to someone? Give me a commission. We keep connections. Yeah. I don't believe in that. I believe in sharing connections. So whenever I show up in a country, the first thing I try to do is I try to see if I can be introduced to anyone else. Through LinkedIn, for example, through any communication out there. I'm coming to Dubai this time. I have 13 different speeches. This one was not even planned. This was last minute. Christina asked me to say if I have any plans. I said, sure, I'll come in and I'm happy to talk. But for me, at every event that I come to, I try to see if out of this crowd, maybe 1 or 2 people will actually follow up. They'll actually send a message and ask a question, or they'll actually say something nice, or they'll make a remark. They'll choose to follow up now to start a building. They'll plant a seed. This is this pin I have right here. It looks like 3 heads, but if you look carefully, it's actually just 2 bodies. Because I believe that when 2 people connect, if they really choose to connect, what they're doing is they're planting a seed. That seed becomes the relationship. And all we need to now do is give energy and time to that relationship. So if I follow up with you, I'm not trying to sell you something so you would give me something. I'm trying to learn more about you. I'm trying to understand more about your goals. Instead of asking you, what do you do? I would rather ask you, what are you currently focused on? Instead of asking you, what business are you in? I'd rather ask you, what priorities do you currently have in your life? It's more interesting for me to understand what you're focused on and what you have as priorities, because your business might not be your immediate priority. You know, give you an example. 2 weeks ago, I was networking with someone in Bali who's just come in from Singapore. They own like a $300 million fund and they needed some help. And one of my friends came and introduced me to them. And I kind of felt that this guy, Steve, was a little bit preoccupied. I felt that even though it was a business networking evening and clearly he knew who I was and I knew who he was, we knew we were going to meet that evening. My friend brought me to him, introduced us in a very nice way. And then I kind of see that within 30 seconds, Steve's focus is not with me. It's clear. And I said, Steve, I don't want to, stop us from talking about something that's so relevant and important right now, but clearly I feel that your mind is preoccupied. Your mind is somewhere else. You want to tell me what's up? And suddenly we get into a conversation about his kids. And suddenly we get into a conversation that his wife really wants to move to Bali as well. He just came there on business. And his wife really wants to get her kids into green school. But the green school is like the #1 school in Bali. It's very well known around the world. And clearly, from what he understands, there's a little bit of tension, a little bit of challenge because they need to wait for 9 months. And I said, don't worry about it. Tomorrow I'll introduce you to the founder. And suddenly he became a lot more calm. And the next day I introduced him to the founder of the green school. And the next day they fully got accepted and they can actually move there. And that for me was really cool because instead of waiting so many months to move to Bali, he moved there and he's moving there in a few weeks. And for me, that was not trying to focus on, do I need to connect with you for the business right now? Instead of I want to just connect with you. And for me, that's the power of having time and space to connect with people. To just connect here and now. And whatever happens in the future just requires us to show more curiosity. I could show you guys a little hack right now to see how it works. So my philosophy comes always in 3 levels. Number 1, compliment people. Yeah, have a complimentary mindset. Number 2 is show curiosity, which is something we need to develop. Did anyone here study journalism? Yeah, one person, nice. This is why this is the only guy that keeps on asking questions. Yeah, but it's amazing how bad we are as people at asking questions. I would highly recommend you take an hour in the next 1 week and go online and learn how to ask people questions. Just type top 10 questions to ask other entrepreneurs. Top 10 questions to ask people to build trust. Top 10 questions to ask my investors. Top 10 questions not to ask women. Yeah, men, I'm serious. Google that one. Top 10 questions not to ask women. It's amazing. Sometimes I hear men asking women, I'm like, did no one ever teach you not to ask women this? What? Yeah? Sorry? Oh, sure, that's another one, but there's quite a few questions you should not ask women. So asking questions is beautiful, and the third one is follow up. It's the power of following up, learning that today I don't need to connect with you in order to build something. I need to connect with you in order to have enough interest to connect with you again tomorrow. That's what I'm always looking for. So let's try to do this right now very, very quickly. I like to prove something to someone to show you. I'm going to take 1 minute right now and ask you if it's okay to be in complete silence. And ask you for that 1 minute to not be on your phones. And ask you for that 1 minute, you could stay seated or you could choose to stand up. It's up to you. And during that 1 minute, I'd like you to look around the room. Try to look at different people. You don't have to look at one person for 1 minute and eye gazing. They might think you're an alien. Look around the room and see if in your head you can compliment them. Anything. And you don't have to just say, nice shirt, nice shirt, nice shirt, nice shirt. Yeah, no, that's not funny. Some people in this room will do that. You will be very boring with the kind of compliments you have because you haven't practiced enough complimenting in your head. I want to just try to do that for 1 minute to prove an algorithm to you that really works in the business world. Yeah? For 1 minute, I'm actually going to time this. Where's my phone? Somewhere. 1 minute, I'm going to count it in my head. 1 minute, no speaking. Try not to look at your phone. Don't look down. Yeah, look around the room. You could stand up if you want to. It's cool. Look around the room and compliment different people in your head. Go. So now I'd like to ask you to consider thinking very carefully what just happened in a minute. What happened?
Scan.
Okay, you scanned the room. What else happened?
Appreciation and kindness.
Okay, appreciation, yeah. What else?
Emotions.
What, sorry?
Emotions.
What kind of emotions?
Contact. Eye contact.
Okay, you don't have to have eye contact with someone to have good emotions about them. What else happened?
Focus. Connection.
Focus on what? You focused on different people, on positives of different people. What else?
I don't want to compliment everybody.
Okay, you chose not to compliment everybody, like not to. So like some people are like, no, I don't like you, I'm gonna skip over you. Okay, that's all right. He's being honest. He's being honest. What else?
Presence.
Presence, yeah. Most people are not present most times. What else?
I saw a number of smiles.
You saw smiles, yeah. It's not very common to just randomly look around the room and look for smiles. Nice. What else?
The realization that you actually have not yet connected deep enough with many people.
Yeah.
Because it was, for me, it was rather difficult to even make a compliment for over half the people here.
Yeah.
So just that realization was quite shocking.
Thank you. What else?
Network expansion.
Network expansion. Okay, what else?
Unconsciously, I started to smile.
Sorry, say it again?
Unconsciously, I started to smile.
I noticed you started to smile. That's really nice. It's a very easy hack to smile.
Icebreaker.
Icebreaker, yeah, very good. So many people ask me, top one question I get in the world is, Gil, what's the best way to break the ice? And I tell them, it's not about saying any words. It's about complimenting people in your head. If you compliment people in your head, it's the easiest way to break the ice. Before I told you what is the number one fear that human beings have? Public speaking. Again, speaking publicly. The number one fear that most of you have in this room is networking. Your brain cannot be afraid and compliment people at the same time. It cannot. If you're ever in a situation where you want to feel comfortable, like this is my trick. I come in front of an audience, the first thing I do is I start complimenting you. The first thing I did, as soon as I walked into this room, I sat in that corner, then I sat in that corner. I'm an introvert by nature. So for me, I understand how to manage my energy. I understand how to hack my body. I like biohacking. I've also changed my whole program so that I feel comfortable in front of an audience. But for me to compliment you, and it's not just complimenting the women in this room, it's complimenting the men as well. Some people have nice clothing, some men have nice, posture, some men feel very, very confident, some men have nice glasses, some men ask me questions. Imagine how he's the only one that spoke so much, where you could have also spoken out a little bit. That helps. If you speak out with anyone that stands in front of you, you're really adding value to them. You're trying to connect. Networking starts in your head. It's really beautiful. Sorry?
Do you train yourself to compliment in a certain way so that it serves the purpose?
Ask AI top 100 ways to compliment people to feel comfortable. That's it. Seriously. There is no one specific way. Start by just complimenting people in your mind, because us as humans, I know you're all very, very nice in this room, but most people out there, especially in big cities, are not complimentary by default. They are defensive by default. Who are you? What do you want from me? Why are you talking to me? What are you doing? Are you relevant to me? Do you want to take something from me? Most people are judgmental. Most people look at someone and right away they'll think something is wrong with that person. Why do you think we have so many magazines out there to make us think what does a beautiful, perfect human being look like? This gentleman that was saying he was looking at who to compliment, who not to compliment. It's because he hasn't trained himself yet to be able to compliment every single person that comes in front of you. Every person that comes in front of you, like I practice with homeless people. I know you don't have homeless people in Dubai, but when I was living in London, that's what I did every single day at 6 p.m. I was in the banking industry. I would go and I would network with homeless people. Because English is my third language. It's not a language I ever learned in school. It's a language I had to practice to get comfortable with it. And I don't know if anyone has ever been to speed dating. You know, when you have like a beautiful bar and you have like, as a man, I would meet with like 15 or 20 different women in one day and in one evening. And I would have 5 minutes with each one of them. I would literally put my phone on vibration every 5 minutes and I would go and spend 5 minutes with a homeless person. just to see if I could feel comfortable to ask them questions. And after that, I would say thank you. I would leave them maybe some fruits and some water, and I would go to the next person. So I had to practice myself how to feel comfortable with anyone, because I'm an immigrant and an introvert, and the doctors told my parents I got ADHD and dyslexia and slight autism, and failing out of 3 high schools. There was a lot of reasons why life would be difficult for me, and I wasn't okay with that. I would rather find systems and hacks on how to connect with people, how to build businesses. I wanted to learn, how do you make $1 million in one day? Not by fundraising. Yeah, how do I make $1 million in one day? And I've learned how to do that many, many times. It's just training, it's a program. I also learned how to lose $1 million. That's why when entrepreneurs come to me and say, I want to raise $1 million, I'll ask them, what is the biggest budget you've ever spent? And if they said it's like $50,000, I tell them, you're not going to raise $1 million. You're not. You don't know how to spend $1 million. Yeah? So anyone in this room, if you're looking to raise money, make sure you have someone on your team who knows how to spend money. Yeah, it's the same thing as networking. There's no point of attracting high quality people in your network unless you know and you're ready to serve them, unless you're ready to give them attention. Yeah.
I just want to share a story that happened to me yesterday. I just came to Dubai yesterday for a Series A fundraising meetings. It will happen this week or this week. And yesterday I was in the event, startup event, and I met with someone. Shared with him 2-minute discussion, and he invited me to his place. So today he introduced me to 10 persons, head of TikToks, head of Meta, and other persons. So and he invited me to this event as well. I would like to thank Dr. Suleiman. He's just here. So in the complimenting things.
I love that. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
That's very, very good. You want to tell us something about him?
He's a good man. He's a good man, also an investor, and he will invest in our startup as well.
Very good.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest hacks in human networking that I've learned is when you're connecting with people, to try to talk about other people.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoy that so much more. As people, we find it difficult to talk about ourselves. So the hack is to talk about your team, to talk about your mentors, to talk about other people. That's at least been my hack. It's a really good trick. Yeah.
You met with a lady that worked for a company that makes chairs, and then you said you wanted to help people companies that make an impact.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that? What businesses do you think make an impact?
There's too many companies that make an impact in the world. I personally like food tech. So I like companies that are connected to food. So those of you who will network with me will get something from this pocket or from this pocket. I have something here that is, well, I'll just tell you. So in this pocket, I have vanilla from Bali that came out of the ground 3 weeks ago. And it smells really, really good. And in this pocket, I have extremely high quality dark chocolate. And I have more. But those people who network with me, I love to give people gifts. Just to give them something to go home with. I think it's really nice. In general, anything connected to education, I'm a huge fan of. I'm very, very active in the world of education. I've worked with dozens of universities. I've been an advisor for like Mind Valley for a long time. Anything connected to food tech or water. Water is the new blue gold. You have massive challenges with water in this part of the world. Well, last week you had a lot of water come in, but it's really interesting that water was not captured. That water was not captured to use for permaculture. And I know why all that water came in, but we're not going to get into that conversation right now. So in general, impact is you're making a difference in the world. The lady who sold chairs, it wasn't even her business. She was in the sales department, and she knew me from a few years ago. I did another event here, and she spoke to me, and she's like, but within 1 minute, I just said, hey, thank you, good luck with what you're doing. It's just not interesting for me. Because I've learned that I have to cut some conversation short, because not to disrespect, it's just I'm not interested in talking to someone who's doing something that is great for them. So I want to respect them if she's happy. And I said, hey, if you're happy with what you're doing, good stuff. It's just not interesting for me, because she was asking me for help. She was looking for clients, she was looking for investors, and again, they're making chairs. Because I asked her very quickly, are they special? Are they helping with the back? Are you guys giving back? Are you doing any philanthropy? Do you give some chairs back to schools? anything, nothing. It's just they're just selling chairs and sofas. So for me, that's just not interesting.
Hi, just two things. First of all, the thing that you said when you cut it off straight, just to learn when to quit. And I've been listening to Stephen Bartlett recently a lot. He focuses on that a lot. And the second thing with the chairs, funny enough, I thought about it because that specific example, you said it. Maybe you want to give it to schools, and that's how you kind of do impact even with something so simple. But like, you know, the philanthropy side or whatever it is, everything has something somewhere that you can use it for impact. Anything you can give it up, you can help, you can give it up cost price. So that's the impactful side of any boring business that's going on.
Yeah, if businesses want to be impactful, they could be. Like in Bali, for example, I don't do any business, but I support 7 very large philanthropic movements that we've helped start and initiate. I just like to make a big difference in the world. It's something that drives me forward. 2 things. 1, progress in my life. I'm always getting better. I'm studying something, so I listen to an average of 3 to 5 books a week. Because of my dyslexia, I find it very difficult to read books. So a few years ago, I decided that I wanted to get to 1,000 books as quickly as possible. So I listen to a lot of books. So personal development for me is key. Physical development for me is key. So I picked up Tai Chi about a year ago. So I know that today I could pick up 3 of my kids. My kids are 3, 5, and 7. I could pick them up all at the same time. And I can walk for a mile, no problem. And that's kind of, for me, I know that it's progress. I know that they're going to get heavier. And I need to keep on being able to pick them up and walk. So that's for me is a way to measure progress. So for me, as long as I get progress and I know I'm doing something that is much bigger than myself, I'm living a happy life. Yeah. Another question, yeah. By the way, ladies, why are you not asking anything? Why is it just men? But it's all right. Ladies, yeah, gentlemen.
Yeah, so I want to, so first of all, I as a kid was an introvert and I used to have stage fright. Whenever I used to stand in front of people, my heart used to pound really quickly.
Same here, still now.
Yeah, so, yeah, in fact, asking you this question, I'm starting to get the social anxiety.
Beautiful, man. Thank you for doing it. What's your name?
My name is Abdul Jalil.
Yeah, thank you for stepping out of your comfort zone.
Yeah,
So it's the greatest way to grow in life. Step out of your comfort zone.
Yeah. What I learned in life was quite early on that I need to face the fear. So what I started doing was in my school, I started to give like presentations in tableaus. I used to get in front of people, look them in the eye, just see them like, and seeing so many people looking at me, it used to like, make me so scared. But that's really what motivated me, that I need to network. And I really, whatever you just said, it really resonates with me. And what I want to know from you is that you said that you were an introvert and now you're like a networking mastery coach. How does that journey start? And how did you, from that to now, when you're just telling us about all the systems, all the hacks that you have, how did you get to this? Where there's like mentors, or you see people, you met people?
So once an introvert, always an introvert. I'm still an introvert.
Yeah.
I just have to count to 3 and say some things in my head and come to a position where I know I'm here to serve you. I know I can add value to every single person in this room very, very easily. I know I've mentored so many entrepreneurs and impact investors in the world. So I know I'm here for a reason and I don't need anything back from you. So that helps me feel comfortable in front of you. Otherwise, like I'd be sweating like crazy. So it wasn't really how I started, because how I started was, at a young age, I was in my 20s, I moved to England for a job opportunity. Super introvert, English is not so good. I have a business that I need to develop. I was in the banking industry. And in order to practice, I did 2 things. 1, I went on speed dating to learn how to speak to women. And I went on a lot of speed dating to learn how to speak to women, to feel comfortable in the first 5 minutes. If you feel comfortable and confident in the first 5 minutes, everything afterwards is a little bit easier. First 5 minutes make a big difference. And in order to practice with men, I used to go to different expos. When there's like all these different tables, and I used to just go to the marketing expo, the home expo, the gift expo, and just literally talk to different people for 5 minutes to learn how to compliment them and how to get them to be curious in who I am and how to ask me questions. And I had to learn how to practice asking people questions. Today, there's a lot of hacks. Like, you don't have to do it as slow as I do. Today, I'm brought in as an advisor to some really amazing entrepreneurs around the world. And I give them hacks on how to achieve a goal much faster. There's a lot of hacks you don't have to become an extrovert. You don't have to go through I went through a lot of pain in order to get to where I am today. There's a lot of hacks to that as well. You could do that in 7 weeks. You can completely transform your life and transform your business. Raise any amount of money you want. Raising money today is the easiest thing ever. There's an abundance of money, especially where you live. If you're not raising money, then you're just not networking effectively. If you need good team members around you, you're not looking for the right place. That's it. It's like everything we need is really around us right now, especially if you live here. Everyone here lives in Dubai? Anybody else from somewhere else? Yeah? Who's here from a different country? Yeah, so that's not easy. You showed up in Dubai and you suddenly have to build a network from scratch. Now what happens, a lot of people move in their country and they try to connect with people from their country. It's a lot easier. Like you could see what's happening here with like a lot of my Russian friends and Ukrainian friends. It's amazing. They came here and they connected with people in their culture. Yeah? The hardest thing to do is to step out of that, to be uncomfortable and to step into new communities. And I'm working right now with a very famous coach from Russia who speaks English quite well, but only now in the past year, he's finally stepping out of his community and stepping into new communities, English-speaking communities, the local Emirati communities, you know? So for yourself, just practice. Give yourself challenges every week. Speak to 5 people at this event or don't go home. Speak to 5 people, get their connections, and follow up with them tomorrow. I did that with women. I literally used to go out and say to myself, if you don't speak to 5 women, you can't go home. And then I went to speak to 5 women and get their phone numbers. That was like the next level. And then get their phone numbers and call them the next day. That was a whole different level of a challenge. Imagine how many people you meet today, you connect with them, and you don't follow up on any of these people. There's so many levels to networking that we're just not really being mindful of. And what I tell people is just try to get a little bit better. If I were to ask you guys right now, what level, how would you rank yourself in the world of networking? Everything from, the way you brand yourself, the way you introduce yourself, the way you get dressed, the way you close or start introductions, all of that aspects of networking. How would you rank yourself from 0 to 10? 10 being, what the fuck? How would you rank yourself? Give me some numbers. 2. 2 out of 10. Wow. I'm learning. Good job. What else?
This is question to internet or extra?
This is question to everyone. Number? 6. 6. 2. 3. 7. 8. Who said 8? 4. You said 8. Yeah, brother, I can write 3 books about you because I know you better than most people in this room. So yeah, 8. Yeah, who else? 1. Wow, a humble person. What else? Ladies, come on, speak out, ladies. Let's go. 2. 3. Okay, so I'm very impressed, by the way, with your answers. So I go into a lot of rooms. I was in another room a couple of days ago, and a lot of people were like, I'm a 7, I'm an 8. One guy said, I'm a 9, I'm amazing at networking. And I actually brought him up on stage. And I broke down where his faults are. So I've been, magazines have said I'm a networking guru, which I'm not. I believe I'm the #1 networking student in the world. I've been studying this for 20 years. I've been studying from the biggest speakers in the world that speak about this. I've gone into very, very deep, like Eckhart Tolle. I spent a lot of time with a spiritual teacher to understand what does it mean to be present. I've been studying a lot about mirroring. How do you connect with someone without saying any words? I've been trying to understand body language quite a lot, so I can listen to a lot of you speaking to me right now. Just by looking at you, I could listen. And I could tell you that with all my systems, and I have networking angels, like we hire networking angels and train them for entrepreneurs. With all of that, on my best day, I'm maybe a 6 out of 10. Maybe. And that, when I keep on realizing that, it makes me very sad. Because I realize that most people are a 1 or 2 out of 10. And it's very, very sad because if you think about it, connecting with humans for me and using time is life. I think it's 2 of the most important aspects of our life. How we build relationships with ourselves, with others, with God, with the universe, whatever you want, and how we use our time. For me, these are 2 of the most important aspects of life. If you want to get healthy, if you want to get rich, build better relationships with people. If you want to be calm, if you want to have harmony, use your time more effectively. You know, it's very, very simple. And the more people I meet who think that they could do it on their own, or who think they have already all the connections they need, or who are just going to events to try to connect, but don't follow up, it makes me very, very sad, because I know that they don't have the right tools to do it, which is why I jump on stages. Most of the stages I jump on are for free. I have 7 different income streams in my life. So again, I'm not here. They didn't pay me to come here. I love being able to share this. You know, if you want to take anything away out of today, take your ability to compliment people better. Take it in and like Google it, like practice it. Try to practice it every single day. In the morning when you're stuck in traffic, look at different cars and compliment people. When walking into any event, walk into the event like you own it a little bit and see if you can compliment people. Walking into in a meeting, if you're about to walk into any board meeting, walk in and compliment people. If you have who has a team here? Who has a team? Yeah. Next time you're having a Monday morning meeting, walk into the meeting, say, hi everybody, we're gonna do things a little bit differently this morning for the meeting. Yeah? I'm gonna give each one of you just 1 minute. Literally, take out your phone, put a timer down on 1 minute. I'm gonna give you 1 minute. Please tell us who in your life you appreciate and why. Just take 1 minute. Start the meeting on a Monday like this. The way I start Monday morning meetings with my team is I tell them they have 3 minutes to share. Every single executive in the team has 3 minutes to share. It has to be personal. How you ended last week. How did you feel at the end of last week? I really want to know. How was your weekend? And how has your morning been so far? I want to know how my team's morning has been. I know that in the morning, I don't touch my phone for at least 3 hours. You know, I wake up in the morning and I have different routines, from drinking a lot of water to doing Tai Chi, to having a tea for myself, to just being very, very calm, meditation, whatever it is that I need to do, to just connect, to wake up, to be very, very grateful that I'm awake and I could see my hands and my body is working very, very strongly before I touch my phone. Yeah, that's my morning practices. That really, really helps me to connect. But when my team tells me that in the morning they just rush to answer emails, I try to follow up with them and say, hey, I don't want you to work like this for me. I have no interest in people waking up in the morning, brushing their teeth, and jumping on a laptop to try to answer emails for my business. I want people to be very, very calm. Yeah. So consider those kind of practices, how you question. So really practice how to question people. Not question them like, tell me more about you so I can get to know you like an interview, but like really be curious. Why does someone does what they do? What help do they need to achieve? Who do you wish to meet today and why? Ask people such questions. It's amazing how deep your conversation, your relationship will grow. And the idea of follow-up, it's a mindset. Know that if you connect with someone right now, give yourself a discipline that within the next 24 hours, you allocate 1 minute to that person you met. Just 1 minute. In that 1 minute, you could choose to connect on LinkedIn. You could choose to add a few more words if you connected on WhatsApp, you can choose to edit and add a few more words about them. Usually I add more words where it says company, field, I'll add more words. Any words that can remind me of that person, any words that I can search. So today, if I go on my phone and I type Dubai investor, or if I type Mind Valley, if I type biohacking, if I type sexy girl, yeah, I can find it. I'm single again, just so everybody's, yeah, no, I am. My wife and I are going through what is called a conscience uncoupling. It's a very, very beautiful way to not get a divorce, but still be able to move on in our lives, still being co-parents, but it's one of the most beautiful 8 months of my life. So having new relationships with women is something I need to type into my phone, yeah? It's a good way. Got a question?
You said when two people meet, they put a seed together.
Yes.
And then you give that seed time, energy, water.
Yes.
So what are the factors, or how to get the other person to put in the same type of energy and to feed this seed?
So that's a really, really beautiful and powerful question, because most people want what's called reciprocity. It's like if I'm giving you my energy and I'm inviting you to events, I'm inviting you to my house for dinner, I want you to invite me as well. One, it's not going to happen in your life. Most people are not necessarily service oriented where they want to necessarily serve. Like I've hosted During COVID, every single Thursday, we hosted a dinner at our home. Every single Thursday, and I was new in Bali. I was inviting anyone that I was meeting. Like my wife was like, "Who are you inviting today?" I was like, I met these guys and these girls. I'm just like, yeah, let's just invite everyone to make new friends. We're brand new. We were stuck in Bali. We were living in Singapore at the time, and we got stuck in Bali. And we're like, okay, we'll see how COVID lasts. Let's just meet some new people. And for me, during these dinners, I found a way that I was inviting people, but I was not expecting them to invite me back. Because most people are not good like that. If you want to add value to people, try to go after the 411 kind of code. So everything for me in networking would have a formula. I can give you formulas for running a meeting. I can give you a formula for running a dinner. So for following up, the 411 is give them 4 follow-ups where you're not promoting yourself. You're not talking about yourself. You're promoting someone else. You're promoting a book. You're promoting an event. So I love following up with people and reminding them of something they've said that inspired me. Like I'll remember conversations. If you talk to me today, I will try my best to be inspired by you. I love being inspired by people. It's one of the greatest things to do. Just choose to be inspired, you know? So one, I'll try to remind you of something you inspired me, you know? Another four things. So maybe I'll tell you about a book I just read that I found inspiring and maybe it's useful for you. Maybe I'll share a really good video. In most cases, I'm really good at cross-pollination. So I'll invite you to another event. I'm like, hey, by the way, it was good meeting you at this event, blah, 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 blah. It was nice talking to you. I was like, I'm going to another event on Tuesday. Maybe it's relevant for you. By the way, I'm looking for these kind of events. Let me know if you know of any events like that as well. So I'm giving you an opportunity to add value to me, but I'm not yet waiting for a response. So I'll do 4 things to try to add value to you if I can. And again, I have systems around it. So my team know what events I have coming up in the next 1 week. So my team could also invite you as well. They can help me on social media. I already have empowered them and we have systems in place to help me. The one is to remind you a little bit about what it is that I do for people. Not what my company is. What is my superpowers? One of the greatest questions I love asking people, what are your superpowers? Or what magic do you bring to the world? It might sound very like ooh la la to you guys, you know, this guy lives in Bali. Asking someone what magic you bring to the world will take them off guard. Especially in Dubai. Everyone asks, what do you do? What do you do? I'm sick of that question. What do you mean, what do I do? I live. I drink water. I go to the toilet. What do you mean, what do I do? Go people a little bit deeper. People actually like that. So the 411, the 4 is just adding value. The 1 is introducing a little bit yourself again. And the 1 is seeing if you need to convert. Do you want to meet them? Now, you want to convert them into a meeting. You want to convert them into a lunch. You want to convert them into a call. You want to, does it need to go anywhere now or not? Sometimes I'll meet someone and I'm like, wow, this is an interesting person. Follow up with them. Don't give them a 411. Give them an endless of the 4. Just add value, add value, add value. I have 0 interest in meeting some people I meet. No interest. And I tell my team, this is not a 411. This is what we call it like P1. P1 is priority 1, which means it's a person that I've just met, so we should follow up with them, but it's not necessarily an O1. O1 for me is an opportunity 1. So it's an O0. It's not an opportunity, I tell my team. It's not, I don't need to meet. If they want to meet with me, my team would already know to ask, why do you want to meet with Gil? What's on your agenda? People just want to say in Dubai, let's have lunch. All the time, everybody wants to meet for lunch. I don't have time to meet everyone for lunch. So what I do is if someone is interesting, I'll invite them to a group lunch or to a tea ceremony. I'll invite them to someone else's event. I believe in the entourage experience. I never show up at any event alone. I'll always show up with someone, except today. Except today. I tried. I actually literally promoted this on social. How did you know about this event?
Me?
Yeah.
I usually come here. So.
Got it. So you know.
So that was one of the reasons.
So you started my. Okay.
I was like, I haven't seen you like in this whole trip. So I was like.
So he's the only one I know in this room. So I thought maybe he started my social media because I did say to people, I'm coming. Everyone's like, really? This is what you're doing on a Friday evening, Gil? They gave me so many good options of what to do on a Friday evening. I chose to serve.
Let me just add something small about how I met Gil. I met him 3 or 4 years ago. He's actually it was Jitex, I think.
Jitex. You interviewed me.
Yes, I did as well at that time. It was one of my first and only ones that I've done interview-wise. However, he had one of the most amazing talks that literally changed a lot of things. So I was like, and from then, I'd say definitely become friends as well. And every time, whatever he preaches, he does as well. So total respect and always loving to see Gil as well.
Thank you, brother.
Just one question.
Yes.
My name is Imad. I'm planning engineer. I work in industry of civil engineering. just I want to ask you about the people now in the physical networking, they are afraid. But when they are working in social networking, maybe they are talking different way, and maybe they know each other more. And when they meet, and what about making this relationship for a long time in social media until you meet them in physical way, and to get for them the whatever opportunity or for zero. Just because sometimes.
What's your question?
My question just that for networking on social media, that is useful, or just we need to be in physical?
So if anyone tells you that you need to be in physical, they haven't experienced COVID. Yeah. So COVID, to me, it's not the last time. We're going to have lockdowns again in the world. So practicing how to brand yourself on social media, how to maybe have social media managers supporting you, how to understand how to follow up, give time to social media. So I give an average of maybe 30 minutes to an hour a week myself to social media. But I have a system, my team shows me who do I need to follow up with. I have a really good system so that my team tells me, check out these 100 people. I'll give each one and sometimes a minute, sometimes a little bit less. And I'll follow up. If I want to meet them, I'll leave them a 30-second voice message, and then my team will help me meet them. I don't spend too much time on social media. It's just a lot of distractions of what's going on in life. Jealousy comes out. We see someone at this party. Oh, why wasn't I invited? We see someone with a nice car. I don't need those feelings. I'd rather meet people in face-to-face. But social media is extremely important to manage your network. We cannot alone manage a network of everyone we meet. And if you learn how to manage social media, I think one of the greatest ways, and I'm not an expert in social media at all, I'm not trying to be a big influencer. Within my network, especially on LinkedIn, I have some of the most important people in the world. And I don't need them to comment. I know that when I send them a message, I know they respond. So I'm not looking for likes on social media. I'm looking for communication on social media. So I've learned how to follow up. So when I show up in Dubai, I'll send 100 people a message, for example, letting them know that this is why I'm showing up. If they're interested in a meeting, or if they're interested in showing up to one of the events. I don't need to convert them to meet up with them for business, but I'd rather see them again. So I use social media just as a way to keep some of my network updated on what's going on, and then keep them out of my phone. Yeah, and I try to use a lot of social medias as much as possible. I'm trying to be mindful of time. I see that the organizers are not in this room. It is Friday evening. It is quite late. It's 9:30 in the evening. I don't want to just continue talking. I'm going to come here in a second. I don't want to just continue talking to you guys. I just want to kind of give you guys a chance to do your thing. There's too many questions. Hold on, guys. So I don't know why none of the ladies are asking questions. That's not fair. Yes, Why?
So you introduced a very good sentence, uncoupling this.
Sorry?
About your wife, when you said this, uncoupling.
Conscience uncoupling. But that's why the women don't ask any questions.
They started digging out because this is a very tricky phrase. It's very good. I'm gonna use it really.
Well, just so you know, conscious uncoupling, it's a very, very beautiful stage of life. Again, with 3 kids and a lot of activities that we have together, it's not just a thing.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah, it's a real thing. It's a whole different level of communication and respect. I don't need to talk about it too much, but I have new opinions about marriage, which is a very big aspect of networking, Let's get 2 questions, yeah? And then oh, what, you want to ask a question? No, she was like, yes.
Gil, thank you so much. First of all, I really appreciate what you said. I owe you an apology. I met you at Davos, June 2022. You sent me a voice message in February 2023, but forgive me. I've just written you an apology. My name is Mazin Gadir. I'm a quantum physicist.
Nice!
I love what you say. I hope I was the second person in the room that you know already. My question to you is, for example, I think quantum networking is a fantastic phrase, but sometimes, as he said, social media, we connect, but sometimes we get distracted. And for example, how to reconnect. So for example, I heard your voice message just now, even though you've left it for me a year ago, and I'm so sorry. Just things happen.
So cool.
But how do we reconnect with people because of the many distractions? because you really care. I really care for that person or you or that person, but sometimes we get distracted easily.
Yeah, so give us a minute and then we're gonna let you guys network. If you guys want by the way, after the pitches, if you guys want to have some facilitated networking games, I'm happy to stay. I don't need to go on my date. It's okay. She can wait. No, because I told her maybe. I told her. Well, it's interesting. She said she's going to dinner with another girl, and she said I could join them. So it's not. I'm not. She's not waiting for me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But if you guys want, I'm happy to stay after and do some facilitated networking for you guys. We could play some games to show you how effectively you can connect with people in this room, heart to heart. To answer your question, it's never too late to follow up. It's really never too late. Even after 1, 2, 3, 4 years, you want to connect with someone, don't connect with them because you're trying to sell them something. Connect with them because there's a reason why you want to connect. Suddenly you decided you want to ask a question. I love that. Wait, we got this guy. Wait. These guys are like getting me, you know. I know, but so it's never too late to follow up. Just follow up and tell them that you are sorry for not following up before and give them a little update. The worst way to follow up is, hi Gil, how are you? That is the worst way, because if someone does that to you, you know they want something. Yeah? Easiest way to follow up, hey Gil, I'm sorry it's been a while since we connected. This is what's been going on in my life. I'd love to know what's new and exciting with you. If you have a moment, please leave me a little voice message and tell me what your current focus on in your life. Try to get more from them first. And if they don't follow up with you, don't feel bad. Please, if you send me a message and I don't follow up with you, the best thing you could do is send me an emoji. Just follow up, it's okay. Like, I don't know why men and women, they send each other a message and he's read my message, like 2 check marks, and I'm not gonna respond. Fuck that, you know? Just follow up with people, it's okay. This guy wants to step in. Yeah?
I don't really.
Oh, you don't, but this guy had a question. I want to respect him.
Yeah, one final question before we have.
I know. I was waiting for you to come back. You guys just left the room. I love that.
You were so entertaining.
I like entertaining people. Wait, he had. Why you need to wait until the end? Yeah, go ahead, sir.
I'm Dr. Suleiman. I'm from Saudi Arabia. My father is the private doctor of the King of Saudi Arabia. I am an investor in health, education, and agriculture, and anything good for people and brings me money. This is a good introduction to myself. I have a genius idea for you. Why you don't create a standard for networking? You ask the gentleman here, how do you rank yourself in networking? They say 1, 3, 5, 7. They don't know why. There is no reference. There is no benchmark. In many industries, they created standards. Like my doctorate was in the standards of education. So why don't you create a standard for networking where you will have 9 domains, and in each domain there is 9 KPIs, and for each KPI there is a solution. So next time when you ask those gentlemen, how do you rank yourself in networking, he already took the standard and he knows he is 5 out of 7, 5 out of 9, because these KPIs he achieved, those he did not achieve, and those he is working to achieve. And also you can, because you travel everywhere and you have events, you can create a benchmark, global benchmark, where if I get 5, I know I am below the average or above the average. What do you think?
I love it. So I don't want to be back in the info business world. Everything I do for free right now from a position of information. I've written algorithms for KPMG, and they asked me to create algorithms and benchmarks, how to follow up. I created programs for the Latvian government and the Singapore government on how they can actually relate, and that was written as a white paper with very, very specific steps. When people ask me for help, I just give it to them for free. I love it, man. If you would like to do this, you can take everything from me.
No, you will do it, I will help you.
Yeah, no, but I know. Yeah, it's open source. If anybody wants all this information, feel free to interview me and take all this. None of this information belongs to me. I wasn't born with this information. All this information I give for free. I have a lot of this stuff recorded online in different videos. I don't want to sell any of this stuff. For me, networking, as I said, is a set of spiritual practices that I'd like to just give to the world. I don't want to be charging people for an info business product. I want to just give it away. If people want my time, if they want my experience, I'm a strategist. So I hack businesses, I look for strategy. So if you want me to spend time with you, I'd love to do that. I could serve you some tea.
What you did with Richard Branson.
Yes, beautiful. Thank you, my friend. Guys, I want to respect. I want to respect these guys. Thank you. Thank you for your attention. If there's something that I could do for you, please feel free to follow up with me. I'll stay afterwards if you guys want to do some networking games. I do have some chocolate and some vanilla that I brought in just for the people who I like the most in this room. And if you want to connect with me, again, I'm the only Gil Petersil in the world. If you want to join me at any of the events, like a Tony Robbins event, you can come with us. It'll be a lot of fun. Thanks, everyone.
And now can everyone hear me? Can I just stop? So on to the next phase of the evening. I'm Adil, the founder of Source Network. I know everyone expected Jamil, but he had more pressing issues, I guess. So he asked me to sub. We are going to be roasting this gentleman here and his startup. He's going to be presenting it to us. I will moderate and kind of guide the roasting session afterwards. He has 10 total minutes, 5 to pitch, and then 5 for us to roast him. So whoever, are you ready? In range? Then, because we're already behind, we're supposed to finish by 10. So,
let's go.
I'll give you the floor.
Thank you. Thank you, Gil. I have fear of public speaking in public, but after your speech, I have a little bit of confidence to stand here. One more good thing, people looking at me, I hope they all are complimenting me. I am founder of Sasuk. So it's an impact-driven startup. Sorry, Gil. It's an impact-driven startup, but I'm not a female. But I really want to get your feedback on my startup. Everybody gonna roast? Okay. My startup name is Sasuk. It stands for Sustainable Souk. We are listing near to expired products online to increase their reach. These products otherwise going into the landfill, getting dumped. So maybe we have all seen this term, 30% of food getting wasted. There are multiple reasons for these foods are getting wasted, and there are different types of food as well. What we are trying to address is the products with the limited shelf life. So we are trying to reduce waste of these products. Next one, please. We have come up with a solution which is a win-win solution. This solution is a win for the environment because it reduces retail waste, reduces CO2. It's win for our suppliers who are giving us products because they were dumping this product in the landfill. We are increasing the reach of their product, making it available for the right audience and getting it used instead of dumping it. It's win for the investors also because this covers the 3P, people, planet and profit. And it's win for the customers because these products are available at a very discounted price. So customers save a lot of money. Okay, on the next slide, you will see how much percentage of discounts. So food waste is $1 billion business. The similar concept is very popular in other parts of the world. Like Motivational in Sweden is a $300 million company. Too Good To Go in Denmark is around $800 million company. Misfit in US is $2 billion company. In UAE and GCC region, at the moment there is no established player. We are trying to cover UAE and GCC region for the same product. Next one, please. We have started in June 2020. So far, we have fulfilled more than 6,000 orders. These numbers are last year number. We have fulfilled more than 6,000 orders. We have total revenues around 1.3 million. Our repeating customer rate is 50%, and gross margin is not mentioned here. Our gross margin is 40%. Next one, please. In terms of competition, there is no established player in the market, but how we are different from the other e-commerce who are into the same product portfolio. We are the only one who are doing near expiry without any stock. We don't have any stock. And we started with 60 products. Now we have more than 1,400 products on our website. Next one, please. This is how we do. We list our supplier products on the website. Customer, they place the order. Our delivery partner, they collect the product from the supplier, bring it to the facility where we do the sorting, packing, and delivery to the customer. On this one, we are trying to improve our operational process, where we'll be more focusing on tech rather than ops. So we are working on AI-powered dynamic pricing and other technical aspects. This is our plan, because this concept is not yet in GCC and MENA region. So we started with UAE. Once we have the proper resources, we wanted to go to Saudi, Qatar, Oman, and other GCC countries. That's me. I have 12 years of experience. I've done my studies from Emirates Aviation University. I'm a flight dispatcher, licensed flight dispatcher. So I have a 12 years experience in operations. And next please. He's the co-founder. So he joined me from January this year only. Christos Glitas. He has 20 years of experience into e-commerce and digital marketing. That's it. Thank you very much.
And now we've come to the roast phase, I guess you could say. I want to do it a little bit different from how Jamil used to do it, where it's just a free-for-all. So I want to kind of structure a little bit and first hear if anyone has any thoughts on the overall just presentation with the deck and any feedback or any roasting of that aspect of the presentation. Yes, in the back.
Great concept. Just a quick question on how you compete with the players which are already doing the grocery deliveries like Kareem, Talabat. They already have the near to expiry tag in place. So they are giving the offers, discount, coupons.
There's no answering. It's just like this is not like a question and answer period. This is like you just have to critique. Like, and that's why I said like the first critique is like of his presentation, or the deck. Then we can go into the opportunity, the market. But it's just to provide critique and for him to kind of learn from what the public here thinks of his startup and overall and everything. So yeah. So if you want to rephrase your question, like as a criticism or anything like that, or okay.
Thank you very much. Very great pitch. I would say just if you would add another page for what you're asking for, right? In that slide, are you not asking for financing or support or network?
Yeah, definitely use of funds as well.
Thank you very much for the pitch. One thing definitely what I'd like to add on to is you did not add your ask. What is your ask? One thing, and second is what I know of this concept is it's a really good concept, and I've thought of this before as well. One thing that I came up with was it was easier for big businesses to just throw away stuff. For example, big retail markets to just throw away the near to expiry stuff instead of repackaging it and then selling it off. One thing that you mentioned was that you were repackaging it and then resupplying it. In that case, what I would really like to know if I'm listening to your pitch is, how do you really make revenue off of that? Because the big part is that you are getting stuff for cheap, but then when you are adding the repackaging and sorting on top of that, how does the operation really work?
Yeah, definitely the business
model. I need to answer this because maybe my message was not clear.
You cannot
Yeah, but
This is
that
for
would
you
be
to
something
learn,
that you would want
so
to
that you
learn.
know what. This is for you to learn, so you know that what was not communicated clearly to your audience, and so next time when you go to investors or you're presenting anywhere, you have a better, formulated pitch. Anyone else? Any thoughts?
Yeah.
Oh,
I like the idea. The one thing that just comes through to me in the Twitch is I just don't understand how big the market actually is for this business. It is not the market of customers wanting to buy the product, because it's really about your supply being, how many weight shows, how many Lulu hypermarkets, how big is that, dare I say, problem there, and how can you monetize that? And I couldn't figure out whether you'll actually go at 5 million a year or 50 or 100 million, because I don't know what the supply looks like.
Thank you for that one. We have a gentleman over here.
Hi, my name is Ahmad. Your pitch is good, but you need to hire your voice better, and also I feel you are some nervous, like you shaking your hand like this. You need to be just more confident about yourself. Thank you.
What is the audience think with regards to his opportunity in the GCC region? Do you think there's a market for this startup? Raise of hands. Who thinks? So it's a decent percentage. You have a question?
No, I just want to add something. No, it's not trusting. There is a company that's called Khalil. They do the same thing, and they collect so much that nowadays they need to give to NGOs because they are not able to fulfill. People are not buying enough compared to what they throw away. So there is a lot, but they are not managing to sell enough. So they need to give to NGOs to feed other people because they're not able to sell enough. How you will do that? It's mainly this. How you will differentiate yourself?
Gosh, anyone? Yes, in the back.
Vijay, you can connect with some vending machines, and you can put those vending machines in the area where there are people like labor class people, and also they can get the product in cheaper rate and they can utilize it.
Yeah, we're not here to give kind of ideas to solve problems, just like critique or roast the pitch.
No, not censored.
One last question in the back, and then we'll get on to.
We're not going to steal your business model, but can you elaborate on your business model in terms of percentage of profitability, the discount, or it depends on the product, it's not the standardized, how it works? It's an interesting idea. I'm not a competitor. No, I'm investing.
We have a question here. Feedback.
Brown color is not good. Brown color is not good for presentation. You have to make sure no mistake. Investors are sharks. It should be characterized. And keep your presentation between 7 to 9 slides. For the management, there is the golden number 7, plus or minus 2.
Thank you. Well, that's the end and the conclusion. I hope it was helpful for you to hear the feedback, and maybe you come back at some other point with some updated slides and presentation.
Yeah. Thank you.
Presentation.
This is all Canada.
Yeah.
No, that's okay because Greenland is part of them.
Greenland, yeah.
So they can they can reach that question. You didn't know Greenland was part of
No, it's an independent entity now of Denmark. It's no longer part of Denmark.
Sweden and Canada, that one is a little bit more challenging to argue.
Because Sweden is here.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
It's all you.
Thank you so much. First of all, thank you so much. First, you guys all need to give a round of applause to yourself for your own being here. Engaging yourself with a very, very interesting session by first Mr. Gil, and then having to sit with the critique of the presentation of pitches. Can I first request you all to please come and sit over here at the end of the session, so we could be having a much more intimate debate session. From the back, if you guys could just fill up the seats, so it would be a much easier way to engage for more. So this is a debate session. This is sort of a different kind of a debate session. Usually in a debate, we have a for position and an against position. But since the debaters over here were not there, and we need to just improvise it. So at the end, I'm going to have a debate session among yourselves and moderate this thing. So yeah. So if all of you guys could take off your mobile phones as well and maybe just a QR code this thing, scan it. And this is the question over here for the debate. Within the tech startups, what is the most important thing in being dependent upon? Is it the visionary leaders or is it the robust business model? So we can start from your feedback from there and then engage in a conversation, and hopefully what Jill has explored and shared to us, let's be more vocational about it and let's be more expressive about it. So I think it's a live session. Yeah, it's not coming out. Okay. Let's probably have at least 10 people feedback. We've got 3 now, maybe. Okay, 5 more people. 3 more. Okay, so we've got 10 people now. Okay, let's keep it coming around. Okay, so both are equally important, and this is actually the thing that right now I actually had this point in my mind that selecting between the visionary leaders and a robust business model, if supposedly you have to have a binary selection, right? And this is where most of the tech people are having issues in terms of bringing everything, cramping on their products and services, especially in this market, where they are like trying to have X, Y, Z, A, B, C, all the services offered to them. And then the customer at the end of the day is sort of confused, what is it actually trying to sell? And what is it actually trying to create value for me? So this is where visionary leaders or robust business model was something that offers a basic selection point that makes us difficult to even select what is most important. If you actually see the follow proposition, so second and third is very interesting. Undecided, 21% is also, so mostly people are, after that they see that more equally important. Okay, undecided is the second one now. So visionary leaders, what is this? You know, I mean, let's explore this fact as well. We have got people like Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. So if you can have a second question where we can explore is, let's try to have this kind of a thing. So okay, for you, what is a visionary leader? Is it like, these are all these type of visionary leaders are of different, you know, positive and different negatives. And in terms of that, we have like either Steve Jobs, who is more into intuitive designing, who is more into marketing, or Elon Musk, who has this amazing conceptual resource, knowledge-based thing, stuff like that. So maybe we could have actually at least 5-6 people talking about that. Okay. So maybe Jeff Bezos is someone you feel like the crowd over here thinks is more impactful. Anybody has any, you can raise your hands if they think he is more impactful. Do there somebody, yeah.
No, just I read something about Jeff Bezos and Amazon that says they have more impact on the world than Singapore. So they have more impact, bad impact on the planet, so they are very impactful for me.
Also, if you know, Elon Musk actually says that he has done more impact for the entire world than no other company or government has done. There you go again, right? Anybody else would like to contribute? So, okay, so Elon Musk, see, people feel like he's done the more impactful. Do you really think why visionary leaders are more important within the tech companies? What is it that they, the visionary aspect of it is so important? Yes.
I think they need, I think because they are transforming the ordinary way of things, how things work, right? They have a different, they think out of the box, they think differently, and they can execute this change, right, that they want. I think that's a big thing in a tech. And what you can do, I mean, the industry that you can impact and you can change more easily, I think it's the tech.
But compared to business models, how does that thing, you think they are able to bring everything together?
Okay, I'll just go to the case study, right? I'm ex-McKinsey, so McKinsey was hired by AT&T about their, I mean, everyone knows that, about their market research, of the further development of the mobile phone market, right? So McKinsey, one of the smartest people on the planet at that time, decided, made their very sophisticated due diligence and forecast, and they said that no, mobile phone will not be, market won't be that big. However, someone like Steve Jobs, right, and the other guys, right, they came and they disrupted the markets. They have the vision, and it's a tech, right? I mean, just a case study.
Yeah.
What I saw.
No, perfect. That's a very great example how visionary leaders basically are more important within the concept of business models you talked about. I mean, within the GCC area as well, we have this kind of a thing where people are mostly involved in developing a strong business models, and most of the companies are trying to build up the strong business models. But again, visionary leaders within the tech industry or within the small industries which creates impact, like sustainability, we heard earlier about it, we are not able to have space for them to showcase the disruption element, the element of wherever the over here is big research companies that decide this is happening, this is it, then everybody goes to that direction and not able to really disrupt that.
You're talking about the
Tech as well as sustainability as well. We also, if you go into the sharing economy, for example, bringing in new elements into these established industries and then having subsectors over there. So not so many leaders, visionary leaders are coming into it to develop such kind of subsectors within the established industries. Why? Because people are mostly focusing on robust business models, which we can go to the last part of it. And it could be like, okay, which company has more robust business models then? So if you have these options, if we can discuss about which of these companies have most robust business models? Is it Zoom, Shopify, Atlassian is not very much within the tech, it's agile management software, Stripe or Airbnb. Interesting, yeah. 3 people, maybe any other person, or if you can go for 5 people voting. Okay, one more. Right. So it's interesting to see Airbnb is basically most of the people think they have a good robust business model, which is so I'm assuming it's business models that needs to be open, peer-to-peer, having the consumers being part of the business and accumulating, whereas maybe Zoom, Shopify, Stripe, these are sort of, internally and their business models are mostly, so anybody who would like to, contribute 2 cents of them, why do you think that Airbnb is the most interesting, robust business model? Anybody you would like to say?
No, I don't know. I think it's interesting because it's helping people. What the beginning was to help people to be able to pay their rent properly. So make a space free to be able to afford to have a nicer place. So I think it started with before it was couchsurfing and all this kind of things, for people also to visiting other areas. So I think it's engaging everyone. So it's quite interesting.
Yeah. Maybe Stripe is like providing the solution. You know, I think one of the things that Airbnb is something that their business model has is that they actually reduce a lot of their costs because the people themselves are part of the business models they are taking care of, and again inventory management, all that thing. So the tech side of it is just, you know, managing and listing a bit, but the real side, people who owns the homes, they have to connect with the real end customer at the end of the day. Whereas maybe Stripe has a very interesting, it basically provides easy embedded way of payment solutions, but then the charges are too expensive and stuff like that. Right. Anyhow, I think because it's been a long day today, but thank you so much all for participating, and we're gonna keep on having these sessions in this community, just so that we could actually provide the vocational aspect of the community among the entrepreneurs and founders. Thank you again. Give it a round.